Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Layadi Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. And we ask thy blessings on our satsang today. May we feel thy creativity. May we feel thy blessings flowing, thy thoughts and inspiration as we attune ourselves ever more perfectly to thee. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll have a song now, and then afterwards a video clip of Swamiji, and then we'll proceed onward. Welcome again, everyone.
Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. Never in anger, never in haste, go without pride, be never abased. Freedom is yours if freedom you'll give. To all give it freely, in freedom you'll live. Mountains that stand up tall to the sky tell us no dreaming is ever too high. Dare to defy them, brave that high peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek. Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. This is something that I discovered in writing music, that music is a language, and it expresses thoughts and expresses feelings. And anybody who just makes a pattern out of art is just not doing art. It has to have, even as science has to have that sense of mystical awe, you have to have the feeling everything is not just a manifestation of consciousness, everything is an expression of consciousness. You're naturally drawn to colors that are sort of expressive of who you are. The thought of the aura around your body is an actuality. And the kind of aura that you emanate depends entirely on your state of consciousness. And so you will be naturally drawn to different colors. Some people are drawn to pink, others to blue, others to green. And each of these colors has its own particular impact on the body. A blend of all the colors is a good thing. But dark and muddy colors indicate a dark and muddy consciousness. And a great deal of modern art, if you think, what does it mean, you can't explain it. But you must know, some people say, well, I don't know much about art, but I know what I like, is not such an invalid criterion as people think. Because what you really are saying is, I know what makes me feel uplifted or downcast. I told you yesterday or the day before about that hotel I was in The Hague, in Holland. I think it was there. It was some hotel in Holland. And by the reception desk, there was a modern painting, a large thing, covered the whole wall. It was just garish. It's everything it said was, I'm confused, I don't believe in anything, I don't want anything, I hate everybody. This is, you call this art? Okay, there you can call it art. There is satanic art as well as divine art. And we must understand that this is so, because art can uplift you or it can take you down. Don't think that because a painting is famous, therefore it's a good thing to hang. Think, what is it doing for you? because some paintings have a very depressing effect. And it may be a great artist and it may be worth millions of dollars, but I wouldn't want to go near it. I'd rather have something daubed that made me cheerful at least.
Good morning again, friends. So wonderful to hear Swamiji. And it's a wonderful topic on uplifting our consciousness through the arts and creativity. And I like to start with a quote from Swami Kriyanandaji. Seek inspiration from the superconsciousness. In creating art, perhaps more than anything else, there should be a sense of discovery, awe, and reverence. For that to happen, it needs to flow from the superconscious. We need to ask for inspiration from that level. How do you do that? When your feelings are calm, tune in deeply at the spiritual eye, the center of superconsciousness, and ask for creative guidance. You will receive that guidance in the heart center. When the heart's energy is turned upward, and you ask at any point, at the point between the eyebrows, answers to all sorts of problems will come to you. Always ask at every stage of the creative process, does this art express my higher self? Technique is secondary, but the consciousness behind it is all important. Try to let your art reflect the divine creator behind everything, and it will be a source of meaning, strength, and upliftment for all. And one last line from Swamiji. Some people serve Master through their meditations. What I have to offer is my creativity. Master often praised me for the creative way that I served him. This is a very important topic. It's not a side issue. It's not a side topic. It's not if I like art, if I don't like art, if I like music, if I don't like music. It's a part of uplifting our consciousness because it involves our whole being. Our whole heart is uplifted through the arts. We can't just think we're just going to use our mind, our brain, our intellect to go into cosmic consciousness. We have to use our whole being. And the heart feelings are a great part of our whole being. As Swami Sri Teswarji said, you can't take one step on the spiritual path without the openness of the heart. And watching Swami Kriyanandaji, I would say he was the most creative, expansive, person with initiative that I ever met. He was always creating something, creating books, creating music, creating art, creating on and on and on. He always had something going on that he was creating. And of course he was serving Master, but he also was doing that to show us that we too have to keep that creative power of God flowing through us. And when I looked at Swamiji, I look at Swamiji's life, he, in every area, honestly, you can think about that, he just used the creative power in the area of books. He wrote so many books. They're on many topics. He wrote on relationships. He wrote on leadership and on success. And he wrote on education. He wrote on child rearing. He wrote on every topic you can imagine. And then the scriptures on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita and Patanjali. And he was always engaged in writing. And he was thrilled when he would write, and you could see the creative process. You could see the divine flow happening through him and the power of God. He said that thoughts are universally, Master said, are universally, not individually rooted. And Swamiji would just be drawing these thoughts down from the ether to down to earth to be able to share with people the teachings of Master. And then he did the same with with music. That Swamiji was so, he said one day, and 30 melodies came to him in one day, just one after the other. And he would, sometimes he would hear a melody and he would whistle that melody into, he had a little recorder so he could remember the melody. And then he would give it to the person who would uh, write the piece, the music, and it would come out so beautiful. Sometimes he said in the middle of the night, he'd hear a melody and he would whistle it into this little recorder, and then the person would make it into a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. And he wrote 400 pieces of music. They were just, and all types, Italian and Italian pop or melodies, and then Spanish and Romanian and all types of music he wrote, Egyptian and on and on and on, and a Hawaiian song he wrote. And it was just to show that from all sources, from all angles, from all backgrounds, from all nationalities, from every part of life, he was just drawing inspiration. And you probably know Swamiji spoke 8 or 9 languages. And I was with him in Europe where I heard him speak in German, and then he would speak to somebody in Italian. In the same program, he speak to somebody in Spanish, and then he was speaking to somebody in English, and then he was speaking to somebody in French. And wow, I was very impressed to see how he could speak. And he would urge you, learn another language, learn Italian, and here, learn Hindi, and learn Spanish, or learn French, or don't just close yourself off that, no, no, I can't do that, and I just speak one language. Why not? Why not open yourself? Be universal. And when you're traveling to other places, I mean, I've had to travel a lot of places. You have to get into the bhav of that place and the feeling of it, and the people and the culture. And you don't change yourself, like Master Sri Tesraji said, don't become an American, but also to blend in and try to feel, what is the bhav? What is the feeling of the place? What is the language? What is how are the people? How do they think? Like Master said, the Americans love to laugh. So he would tell some funny stories so he would get people to laugh in America. And he said Americans have that energy of eventually. Why not do it now? If you're gonna find God later, why not find him now? And so he would put that in his talk, something that would address the people there. And also, Swamiji was so creative with just beautifying places. I mean, just think of the beautiful places on earth that he was able to draw the inspiration from. What I'm saying is, art is not just painting, and he did paint. He also did beautiful artistic works. But I think of the communities, the 9 World Brotherhood communities that Swami Kriyanandaji founded, all beautiful, clean, neat, uplifting, inspiring. And what's the most inspiring part? The people that got drawn there, that live a life of upliftment and inspiration and joy and peace and love. And I mean, I think that's the most wonderful thing. The best things he created was the people. They have a higher consciousness from living in places that are of high consciousness and centers that we've developed. Or you go there, there's people who have a higher level of awareness, who dress beautifully, who speak well, who are concerned about you, and it's not just about them. And the meditation groups, and I think of the Ananda village. It's heaven on earth. I hope you all will come in 2026 for Swamiji's 100th year birth anniversary. But it's so beautiful everywhere you go. You don't see anything thrown on the ground, paper thrown out. It's just really a heaven. And the Crystal Hermitage, which Swamiji developed, he developed that so that it could be the heart of the community from his own mind, his own consciousness, and uplifted consciousness. It's beautiful gardens. I've shown you pictures of the tulips, and once a year there's the whole festival of the gardens. I can't remember the exact name, but it's of the gardens and beauty and the tulips, and 20,000 people have come to see those gardens. Why? Because they're created with light and beauty and upliftment and wanting to share. And I'm there every year at that time, and you can just almost hear the flowers just talking to you. Look at me, look at this color, and the beautiful flowering trees and the gardens. And it's so lovely. It's a work of art. And the house itself, it's just, honestly, it's just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, and so refined and handmade, beautiful crafted furniture from Kashmir that Swamiji bought here. And he took it there, and the whole house is full of it, and beautiful art from Italy, and various, I mean, I think there's 32 pieces of art from one particular man who I met myself when we were in Italy. Odierna, beautiful. And everything, the furnishings, everything, every plate, everything in that house is made, bought from high consciousness. Not a get a table, get a chair, put over there, get a tablecloth, put the dishes over there. Everything in that house is made or bought with a high level of consciousness. And they're so important. And you look at the Ananda centers, they're beautiful. The altars are beautiful. The pictures of the masters, it's not just, oh, just get any frame. All the bouquets and the garlands and the carpet and the chairs and the colors that are matching. And honestly, they're works of art. I've seen all of them. And sometimes I'll go to the center leader and just thank them for making such a beautiful place and not just getting a broken chair or sit on the floor, do whatever you want. They're so uplifting. And this is not just Ananda, this is Master, this is God. This is a divine vibration that we're bringing to earth, not just us, but whoever is attuned to it. It's the astral realms, divine mother to create beauty everywhere. And even the names of the places that Swamiji gave, the Crystal Hermitage. It's so beautiful. He could have said Ananda something or other, Ananda House or whatever, a Crystal Hermitage. I was with Swamiji when he came up with that name. We were in Italy, coming from Capri, going to Sorrento on a boat, and he was asking people, what name should we have? What name? And there were different names, and then Swamiji, Crystal Hermitage. And everybody said, yes, yes, that's the name. And he put consciousness on the names. And in India, he called his home not Swamiji's house. He called it Guru Kripa. So beautiful. And another house that he had, and I've adopted that name myself for places where I live, Guru Prem. Instead of a Shri, my house, whatever your name is there. It's just such a wonderful way to live, to think expansively and artistically and creatively. And even Swamiji, you all know this, he gave different members of the community spiritual names. I mean, our names weren't beautiful names. They were, I mean, you grew up with beautiful names. I've heard all the lovely names, the deeply spiritual names, most of them, at least. Some of them may not be, but to have a name that is deeply spiritual and beautiful, especially that's saying who you are and what you're aspiring towards. When I got my name, I just felt like so happy. And interestingly enough, it was the name I had, but pronounced a little bit differently and spelled differently. Dhyana, Dianna, was my name from birth. I think I was calling out to my mother in the womb saying, Dhyana, my name is Dhyana, call me Dhyana. And when I saw one of the levels of Patanjali that for finding God was Dhyana. I said, that's my name. I know that was my name. And Swamiji gave me that name. And some of the most beautiful names, Mantra Devi. I mean, wow. Krishna Das, Purushottama, Jyotish, Devi, Lakshmi. I mean, this one, everybody in the community has a spiritual name, unless they just didn't want one. But it's just a part of the creative flow of Divine Mother, what you feel. And Swamiji, I don't know how many of you know that he took photographs, 18,000 photographs. He would have very good cameras, and he traveled a lot, and he'd come back from those trips. I remember in the early days, he'd come back from India. Nobody knew anything about India. Oh, very few people, only a handful had gone to India, and that was with Swamiji. And Swamiji came back and he had taken photographs of India, and he showed us the pictures. He had a slideshow, and he showed us this is where Master grew up. This was Master's home. This is where Master was born. This was, and he just, these are our gurus. This is where they live. These are holy people. We had never seen those, never seen India. And he showed them an artistic way with music. This is the land of the rishis. This is the land of the masters. This is the land of the saints. And people just went, wow, I'd never seen anything like it. But here again, he just wanted to share and show, and it was another way of being creative. And so, what do? Let's try to be creative in everything. When Swamiji wrote, and spoke. Gosh, he spoke at every talk. I heard him teach Hong Sa many times, always from a different angle. He picked it up from there, pick it up from there. He pick it up from this place. Every talk, I never heard him give the same talk over and over. I heard hundreds, if not thousands, of his talks, always picking it up from a different angle. And who was in the audience? What did the people need to hear? How can I tune into these people? And this is what we need to do to really open up more and not be in a box that this is the way this is the way it has to be. I'm going to read my lecture. I remember I was giving my last Kriya that I gave in Hindi by God's grace was someone was coaching me, and they said, because that never was easy. I'm telling you, I would go over and over and over and keep praying and praying, and then I'd give the Kriya to the gurus, believe it or not. I'd say, I'm giving you Kriyas just so I can practice with them. And then after that, I felt, okay, they're with me. But someone said to me, wow, Dhyana, you don't have to go over and over and do this. Why don't you just read what you want to say in the Kriya? I said, I'd rather die than read. I'd rather die than not do what my guru's asking me to do. I know it's drastic, but the thing is, if the guru's asking you, create a beautiful center, play this beautiful piece of music. And at Ananda Village, it was creativity all the time. We had plays all the time. Swamiji wrote plays. People were in the plays. I was never in the plays, but I was in the choirs. I was in the small groups. I was in the orchestra. We had an orchestra there for a while. I was playing the harmonium and singing the chants, and there was always creativity happening there. And for us, let's try always to come at it in a different way. Original doesn't mean something outside of yourself. It means from within yourself. This is a beautiful definition Swamiji came from your origin. Try to feel from your heart what is trying to happen here. How can I make it more beautiful? How can I make it fun? We were just in Mumbai doing wonderful programs there. Uh, Nayaswami, Aditya, and myself. And I love being out there and just sharing with people. So we were teaching the basics. It was a brand new group. 75% of the people were new. There were 100 something people in the room, and I think 140 and some same number online. Anyway, I was teaching this just one of the energizers, just to get people to, they're brand new. So I went, let's tense our whole body. We're standing up and then relax and exhale. And so those people were live. I'm telling you, I love that energy. So at a certain point, I called somebody up to the stage. I used to love to do this. We used to teach all over India. I mean, I'd call 5, 6 people, 10, however many, call them up on the stage and have them do it with me and show people how to do it well. So this guy was really doing it well. I said, sir, do you mind coming up? And he came up right away. And I said, do it with me now. So we were tensing, relaxing. You know, it was just fantastic. I just loved it. And afterwards, I asked him, I said, I hope I didn't embarrass you bringing you up. He says, no, I liked it. He says, I'm usually shy, but I enjoyed that. And I said, why not? Why be stiff? Let me show you. Left foot, right foot, left calf, right calf. I mean, that's boring. We have to get to the point where you have to ask yourself, am I enjoying this? And if you're not enjoying it, nobody else is going to be enjoying it either. And so put your whole heart into it. Think about the people, not yourself. Try to be more inspiring, creative. Change this a little bit. Find some quotes. If you're giving a talk, read something. And there's so many things that you can do to bring something out and make it a piece of art. And ultimately, what Swamiji said, I love it. He said, the most important piece of art there is yourself. Yourself, your thoughts, your energy, your dynamism, your magnetism, your attunement. And if we can create within ourselves a glowing light, a fountain of inspiration and joy that's always flowing out, we will then have the best piece of art anybody could have. And I want to end with this brief reading from Conversations with Yogananda. I hope you're seeing this. Yes. This is Master's words. You've heard this story before, but I just found it very inspiring this morning. I thought to read you. One time, Master continued, I was in my upstairs room at Mount Washington preparing to attend a large banquet downstairs. 200 people were there waiting. Someone asked me just then, would you give us a poem? Probably the thought was for Master to read the poem at the banquet. At once, I replied, take down these words. Sitting for a moment, I focused my mind at the point between the eyebrows, which is what Master said to draw inspiration, and then feel in the heart. Then I dictated, O Father, when I was blind, I found not a door which led to thee. But now that thou hast opened my eyes, I find doors everywhere. Through the hearts of flowers, through the voice of friendship, through sweet memories of all lovely experiences. Every gust of my prayer opens an unentered door in the vast temple of thy presence. This poem, as it happened, was the first one I included in what later became the book of prayers and poems named Whispers from Eternity. When that book was published, a London newspaper review stated, there's one poem in this book that was not refrain, I cannot refrain from quoting. And this was the one they quoted. How beautiful. Om Shanti Shanti. I'll ask Natendra to join for a couple of questions now.
Thank you so much, Dhanaji, for the inspiring story as well. Dhanaji, we have a few questions. The first one is, you talked about the arts that we should be doing, but also at the same time in this world, how can I be protected myself from what is supposedly called as entertaining art, which most people like, but I somehow feel very disturbed and heavy about it?
Music pounding from another car, just pounding. I thought that guy's gonna need hearing aids very soon. I mean, the music in the restaurants, the music in the hotels, the music in the cars, it's blaring, it's blasting. So what do? You have to roll the window up for one with the cars, but in an airport, in an airplane, what I do is I have my earbuds in and I'm listening to Swamiji's music the whole trip. One time, almost all the way from America to India, this was way back. I just kept listening to Swamiji's music. And so protect yourself with that. The other thing was Swamiji said this about an aura. Now, I want to say that the colors you wear also have an influence on your consciousness and everybody who's looking at you. I wore this today. Now, I wear blue every day, but I wore this particularly today for class because I like this and I wanted you all to enjoy the color. It's beautiful silk, and we have some very creative people like Ranchana, who's my dearest friend, and she is a what can I say, a wonderful soul, but also a designer of clothes, and she makes beautiful clothes. So, I mean, we have to put our energy into whatever we do. You can put it into this, or you can put it into a talk, or you can put it into whatever it is, creating your house. I mean, there's a apartment next door. We went in to say hello to the people, and I'm telling you, that house was dark. Everything was dark. The furniture was, everything was dark. And my friend and I, we just couldn't get out of there fast enough. The vibration was dark. So colors, what you wear, that what you have, the colors in your house, the colors, and protect yourself that way. Your aura can expand. Of course, doing your energization exercises, your meditation is protective. Wearing an astrological bangle, a navratna if you can, and these beautiful jewels. I love them. I mean, where people have these big pieces of jewelry on, what you need is a navratna, honestly, and that will protect you. It needs to be over the skin, touching the skin, or a bangle. I've told people, please do it. So how can you protect yourself? The music, the what you wear, what you say, your own thoughts, what you have on, the navratna and astrological bangle, where you go. Don't go to a lot of heavy duty places. Swamiji said about that art he saw. And the movies are terrible. I'm not saying every movie, but a lot of them are awful. And the way people dress, I'm ashamed of them. I mean, they look terrible. Half dressed, and it just looks terrible. Anyway, I remember I'm dressed Indian style, and I see Indians are dressed American style, but I was in an elevator once and someone said, "Oh, you look so nice." And you know why? Why did they say that? Because it's offensive not to dress properly. And there was one of Swamiji's assistants who Swamiji said, "I'm just telling you because it's a big thing. It's don't just throw on a torn T-shirt." And Master got after Swamiji about that when Rajasi was visiting. And well, Swamiji told one person who was working with him, his assistant, he said, there's a guy who dressed terribly. And he would meet Swamiji's guests and bring them to Swamiji, and his hair was, the clothes didn't look good. And Swamiji finally told me, he says, "I'm going to disown you as a friend unless you fix your wardrobe." And the guy went out and got a whole new wardrobe. So it's not a light thing. Everything you do is a reflection of not you now, but also of your guru, of the path, of Ananda, of Swamiji. So do it with consciousness. Okay, then? No sound.
Sorry, Dhanaji. The question
Yes,
was, how
now.
can I be involved in uplifting arts at Ananda, and will that also help in my spiritual development?
I would say for the Gurgaon people, I'm so proud of you for doing a play. Two Penniless Boys in Brindaban. You're not. So I think get involved. Don't be shy. Play in the kirtan. You can learn harmonium. At least learn the kirtals or something. Learn a tanpura. Be in a play. Sing the music in the choir. There are many opportunities. Maybe you're an artist. paint. Jyotishji, he said that's his way of his hobby. And Swamiji told him it will help your attunement. So it's not a joke. And for me, playing music, I know it's helping my attunement. It's helping the depth of my meditation. It's helping the joy level. I love playing. What do I play? Swamiji songs.
I think Dhyanaji had a weaker connection today, but I guess we are mostly done. So we will close the session now. Thank you so much for joining today, everyone. Thank you. Oops, I think she's back. Oh,
I went off for a moment.
yes,
But
Dhyanaji was
you have
about.
one more question?
The one last quick question, but you covered it, Dhyanaji, that did Master and Swamiji also promote arts? And what kind of art were
Of
they involved?
course. Of course they did. Master wrote chants himself, and he sang, he wrote chants, he played the chants, played on the gong. Uh, he was very creative. He, of course, wrote books. Yes, yes, and yes. And I want to emphasize it's a part of the spiritual life. It's not an addition, it's a part of it. And as you do it, you grow. And you grow in depth, you grow in joy, you grow in attunement. And so find something that you do enjoy that is of the arts. And you can figure that out for yourself. I've given enough examples of it, but I want to emphasize find something you enjoy. It could be taking pictures, doing photography, it could be cooking, it could be creating beautiful home, help with the altars at the centers. But do something that helps you to get more creative, more uplifted, and attuned to the rays of thoughts and vibrations of creativity that are flowing. I just thrill with it. And when I see people stuck, I go, that's too bad because that's not our path. So I hope you all will engage in something. And I wish you all the best in the play, Two Penniless Boys in Brindavan. God bless you all. Thank you, Natindra. Bye bye, everybody. Bye.